Hey there, it's God-given. This is a guide to XIANGLI YAO. XIANGLI YAO is an Electro main DPS unit which is going to be a great addition to everyone's roster, regardless of whether you have Calcharo or not. And he's free, so you might as well build him. Without further ado, let's get into the guide. Starting with XIANGLI YAO's kit. His basic attack chain consists of 5 attacks. Each attack gives XIANGLI his forte resource called Capacity, which stacks up to 100 points. One full chain gives around 70 capacity. His resonance skill is a quick slash which deals minor damage, has a low cooldown, and gives XIANGLI 40 capacity upon hitting an enemy. When XIANGLI Yao gains 100 capacity, his resonance skill becomes enhanced. It resets its cooldown, the slash now deals more damage, and after it you can perform an aerial attack, which deals moderate damage. The damage from both these attacks is considered to be resonance liberation damage. XIANGLI Yao's Resonance Liberation starts with a huge nuke, which deals a lot of damage. After that, XIANGLI Yao enters the Intuition state for 24 seconds. In the Intuition state, all of XIANGLI Yao's attacks are changed. He now has a basic attack chain consisting of 3 attacks, and his forte gauge now consists of 5 divided points, like in Calcharo's ult, called Performance Capacity, and his resonance skill also changes into a new version. This new resonance skill is sort of an enhanced version of the enhanced version of his resonance skill. Upon hitting an enemy, it grants XIANGLI 2 performance capacity, and upon hitting the aerial attack after it, XIANGLI Yao will gain 3 more performance capacity. XIANGLI Yao also gains performance capacity on hitting his basic attacks, up to 5 per chain, and his dodge counter, 2 points per counter. When XIANGLI Yao's got 5 performance capacity, his resonance skill transforms yet again into a much more powerful attack. Its damage is considered to be resonance liberation damage. During his ultimate, XIANGLI can perform this skill up to 3 times, after which his ultimate will end, even if the 24-second timer has not run out yet. XIANGLI Yao's intro skill is just a damaging intro. XIANGLI Yao's outro skill does coordinated damage whenever the incoming character deals basic attack hits up to 3 times. Last thing to note about his kit, XIANGLI Yao's first passive skill gives him 5% electro damage bonus upon using any version of his resonance skill, up to 20% for 8 seconds. His second passive skill gives him more resistance to interruption when he's in his ultimate. When leveling up talents, prioritize resonance liberation first, then the forte circuit, then basic attacks and resonance skill. The intro skill is the last priority. That's it for the kit. It really isn't as complicated as some of you might think it is, and XIANGLI Yao's damage multipliers are kinda broken, so even if you don't play him effectively, everything dies anyways. I'll explain the rotations a bit later. For now, let's get into how to build XIANGLI Yao. Starting with the weapons, XIANGLI Yao's best in slot weapon is his signature, Verity's Handle. The second best option are the standard 5-star gauntlets, Abyss Surges. Then come the 4-star weapons, Stoneard being the best 4-star option, after which comes Hollow Mirage. And if you've got none of the previously mentioned weapons, you should go for Gauntlets of Night as the 3-star option. Now for the Echo build. For the main stats, go for attack percent on the 1 costs, electro damage on the 3 costs, and crit rate or crit damage on the 4 costs. For the substats, prioritize getting crit rate and crit damage, then attack percent, resonance liberation damage, and flat attack. Having around 110 to 115% energy regen is also nice. For the Echo sets you have 2 options, either Void Thunder or Lingering Tunes. Due to Void Thunder requiring you to deal a heavy attack to get the full buff from the passive, you might want to use Lingering Tunes instead, as it's easier to utilize the passive there. Either way, the difference is not very big, and I suggest you to use whichever set you personally prefer playing. I'm using the Void Thunder set just because I'd built Calcharo a long time ago, and now his legacy must live on. Use the Mech Abomination Echo skill for the Lingering Tunes set, and the Tempest Mephis or other echoes like Flutist for the Void Thunder. Thundering Mephis is theoretically more damage, but it takes a lot of time to get the buff from it, and it disrupts the rotations a bit. That's it for the build. One issue with XIANGLI Yao as of his release is that there are no great weapon options beside his signature. Due to Abyss Surges having an attack percent main stat and being overall on the worst side of the standard 5-star weapons, not a lot of people will have it by now. Except for the Ling Yang mains, I guess. What I mean to say is that if you don't have his signature, then XIANGLI Yao's performance will drop drastically, The difference between his signature and Hollow Mirage is around 40%, which is a lot, almost half the damage. It doesn't mean you won't be able to clear the hardest content, just that you'll have to be way more precise with your rotations. Consider this when you think whether to build him or not. Now let's get into the rotations and game plan. Most of XIANGLI YAO's damage comes from his ultimate. While in ultimate your main objective is to fill your forte gauge and use the enhanced resonance skill 3 times. There are 2 main ways to fill the gauge. Either do the full basic attack chain or use the skill and the follow-up aerial attack. An example rotation during his ultimate is the following. Use ult, echo skill, do the skill combo into enhanced skill, then the basic attack chain into enhanced skill, and do the skill combo into enhanced skill again. This rotation implies that you've already gained all the buffs from your team before starting it. Whenever you're not in ultimate, you can do a quick rotation of skill into basic attack chain into enhanced skill to deal damage and gain resonance energy. You can also opt out of using the whole chain, only do 2 attacks from it, swap to your teammates to do their rotations, then swap back to XIANGLI and use skill again. This will also fill his forte gauge to the full. Now let's talk about XIANGLI Yao's teams. His best team as of the 1.2 update is XIANGLI Yinlin support. Yinlin provides electro damage and resonance liberation damage amplifications with her outro skill and deals great off-field damage as well. XIANGLI Jianshin support is a solid team as Jianshin provides 38% resonance liberation damage amplification with her outro skill. You can also use Jianshin as a support unit instead and have another sub DPS in there, like Sanghua, Mortefi, Jeje, or any other future sub DPS units. XIANGLI support is also a good team. XIANGLI provides 25% resonance liberation damage amp and does a lot of damage on her own, but she will take away a bit of on-field time from XIANGLI. There's no more good teams that I can think about as of now, since there are no other units that can somehow aid XIANGLI Yao. The bulk of his damage comes in form of resonance liberation damage, and there are no more units that can boost it as of right now. In the future though, if there are units who do buff resonance liberation damage, XIANGLI mains will have more viable team options. And as always, try different teams and see what works best for you. That's it for the guide. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you would like to see more content for casual players, then like and sub to the channel. See you in the next one.